How's it going, guys? In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to adjust the rear camber on the back of your BMW. So just before we get into this, I want to show what camber actually is. So if you're looking at the wheel here, negative camber is the top side of the wheel falling in. Positive camber is the top side of the wheel falling out. So if you can imagine, that's negative camber and that's positive camber falling out. So I'm just going to get this set up, and then I'm going to show you simple checks, DIY tests, and then also with my camber gauges, how you would go about checking those. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show is a simple DIY check to see if your camber is very bad. You can do this by simply having a level floor, a straight edge, and some type of measuring device to check it. What I have here is this straight edge. It goes down to the floor level, and then I can run my guide off this. You put it in directly in the middle, so 12 and 6 o'clock at the bottom, you'll be able to get your measurement. And then what you want to do is push it as close as you can into the wheel, and it'll probably touch the tire at the top or the bottom first. When you get to that point, you hold it. I'll just zoom out a bit here. So you can see there, I'll be keeping it in that position, and then you can either use a measuring tape to gauge this, or you could use even a screwdriver and mark it. You get a good idea. What I'll be using is a caliper. You could also use a steel rule and get a good indication as well. So I'll be going in here at 12 o'clock first, going to the edge of the ruler there, as you can see. Okay, so that is reading about 6.5 approximately. Take a reading on down here. Just get to the edge of the rule, and then okay, so that's 3. That's okay. So what that basically means is, because we have a bigger gap at the top here than we do at the bottom, the wheel is falling in. If that was closer than the bottom was, then it would be falling out, because we're, remember, using off a straight line. So we have negative camber on this wheel. The exact amount of negative camber we can't be sure of with this particular gauge, but it does give you an indication. Okay, so first things first, the camber adjustment on the back of the BMW is here. It's this one on the lower control arm, and up here is the toe in, toe out. So it'll be this side, and the measurement readings are on the back. What I recommend you do before you adjust anything is put a mark, just a little paint mark. That means if you need to change anything or you're not happy with the setup, you have the original mark it was before you started adjustment, and you can go back to that again should you fail to set it up as you like. Okay, so I have it set up here on my wheel alignment stands. These have adjustments on the bottom of them, so you can set them to exactly level, and then you can put the weight down. They have slip plates in under here, which allows you to move the arms in and out. Now, this is my setup before I go adjusting. This is a spirit level camber gauge. This needs to be set up each time, and I set it up off a girder. So if you look straight down here, let me zoom in that for you a bit better. I'm not perfectly level on it, but with that bubble level right in the middle, that would be 1. So it's just a bit less than that. We will say about 0.8 negative camber. You can see on the gauge there. If I just scroll back out, this is my wheel alignment setup. These stands need to be perfectly level, and these points all need to be in perfectly flush on the wheel. You don't want any movement on any of that. Once you have that, you can put on your gauge, and then you will get an accurate reading as to where the camber is. So next thing I'm going to do is adjust that, and as I adjust it I can come up here and look at it and see where it's going. So it'll only be small increments, will make a big difference on this. To adjust this, I have a 21mm on the outer part and I have an 18mm on the inner part. I've also put a white line on the outer part because that'll also move, and it will give me an indication as to how much has moved. So we'll just loosen it first. So you just back off the nut on the outer part, and then as you move that, you get your adjustment. What I'll do is I'm going to change camera position, and you can see it as I'm setting it. You can see it there now, that's adjusted. Now what I recommend doing after you're happy with the setup, come down the bottom side here and just put a dot so you have a good indication as to how much you moved and where to lock it, because when you're tightening this up you don't want this to move. So just put another point where you're happy with and then lock it up and you're all good. So I'm just going to take off all the assembly again, the head and my gauge. I have the nut all tightened up, and the next thing I'm going to do is put it back down on the floor and take that measurement and see how much of a difference there was between what we had before and what we have now with that adjustment I just done. Alright, so we're back down on the floor and we're in the exact same spot again. Remember, level floor and do the exact same check. So we're going to bring this in, keep it level, just touching, and we take the same measurement as what we had the last time. So the last time was 6.5. Let's see what we have now. Now remember, it was only a minor change in the adjustment, and we now have 4.5. And the bottom is still 3. I think it was 3 the last time as well. I'll double check on that. So that is it, guys. That is how you check the camber in a BMW, on the rear of a BMW. This can be applied to many different vehicles with this same style. The head I had on my wheel alignment gear was really only used as a gauge. It wasn't actually used in the lasers, so you could actually make something up that touches on the edge of the rims quite easily, and you could buy yourself one of them camber gauges. They're not that expensive online. I will link them into the description if you want to go ahead and check those out. So that is it, guys. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, comment and subscribe. If you do subscribe, make sure to hit that notification bell so you won't miss any videos, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.